Hello, welcome back to Go Get That Rose. I am your host, Sarah. I'm exhausted. I'm possibly sick. So this is going to be an interesting episode. I watched the episode twice, and I really don't remember what happened. So thank you, cold medicine. With me, I have my notes on a piece of paper today. With me, as always, is my co-host, J Wade.
Hey guys, I'm with her. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather too. I think she coughed into an envelope and mailed it to me. But it was a great episode last night, and I fall more and more in love with Tayshia each week. Except, have my feelings for Tayshia changed? I don't know. We won't know until next week. But the build-up came from last night.
Oh man,
not looking good for Tayshia in my book.
Really?
Depending on what she decides to do next week.
At the end of the episode?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Okay. Yeah.
And you've still not watched American Psycho yet either.
I woke up this morning and I was like, crap, I was supposed to watch American Psycho.
Well, I'll remind you every day until next week.
I'll watch it next week. Maybe. We'll see. I can't make that promise. Speaking of next week, they did announce that The Bachelor is going to be on Monday and Tuesday next week. So nothing changes for us here. We will still be recapping Wednesday at 7, both episodes. Back to back. That's going to be a lot. Back to back. Both of the episodes together. That's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, let's jump into it. Again, I just said that I don't really remember what happened in this episode, and I watched it 2 times. So I don't think I really liked this episode. But it's okay. It's still a great season. I'm still okay with everything. It started out with the Bennett and Noah drama. Literally showed us the same scenes from. Yeah. I was like, we just watched this, but okay, whatever. Little anticlimactic on the what's in the box thing with Tayshia, and Bennett was like, "Oh, it was a gift," and she's like,
"But we got confirmation. Okay. We know now that Bennett does in fact know that he's being a piece of shit." Because the look he gave when she was like, "What's in the box?" The look he gave, he didn't want to explain it. He didn't want to go near that. So he knows he's a fucking dick.
My feelings on Bennett have changed again. They've gone back up.
Wow.
Roxy Stryer from the internet tweeted out today her thoughts on The Bachelor and said, "I think I'm the only one that likes Bennett." And I tweeted back like, I think I'm back on Bennett's side, actually. I feel like, let me share the picture. Me and her, the only ones. Them on this, man. I feel so bad for Tayshia, though. She looked exhausted this whole rose ceremony. Like, she just looked over it and exhausted and tired. Anyway, why I'm back on Bennett's side, kind of, not really, but a little bit. The whole time he's talking to her, I feel like he really, like, genuinely did not realize he was being an asshole. No. And, like, really, I felt like he really felt bad. Like, he kept saying over and over, like, don't stop. I thought he felt bad because he kept saying, like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to call Tayshia out. I don't understand why she keeps saying that he is questioning her integrity. Like, she gave her explanation because all the men that she has picked to be there are there for a reason, but I don't feel like him saying that him and they're not going to end up together doesn't mean he's questioning her integrity. I don't know. I'm kind of on Bennett's side on that one. But I just felt like Bennett was very like, I'm sorry. He came off like an asshole when he's saying it, but I think the intentions are pure. I don't know. It's the cough medicine. Go ahead. Now, Noah, hold on. Noah, on the other hand, is playing the game because he sits down and he says, I can take, like, he straight up says what was in the box and says, I can take whatever Bennett throws my way, but if you end up with him, he might do the same thing to you, and that's why I'm fighting for you. And I'm like, boy, he's playing the game. He's turning it back, being a savior, trying to save Tayshia and all this stuff,
That's
which
why
I think
he will forever be stash hole, whether he
stash
has a
hole.
mustache or not.
That's true. I think Tayshia did see through it because she did say some mean stuff. Not mean, some honest stuff. But what is your thoughts on the Bennett and Noah drama?
Bennett's so full of shit, man. This dude, I'm telling you, this guy, this is the guy who gets off on being at their dinner parties with their fucking fancy bullshit and shitting on everyone else around them that he does not think lives up to the fucking standards that should be lived up to. They're not as good as him. This is the asshole who gets off on belittling others and degrading them, and then he gets off for the second time when he does his little twist and turn shit, which kind of worked on you, it sounds like, where he acts like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and it's all from the purest of intentions. And oh my gosh, I don't understand how I don't understand how anyone could not see through this guy's bullshit. He is a true rude piece of shit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. He is.
Can't wait to see you in paradise, Bennett.
Listen to him, man. He lies. He's a liar. When he's sitting there, I didn't know. I didn't mean to be this way. He has known the entire time that he's putting everybody down. He's doing it intentionally because he honestly thinks he's better than them.
That's true, because he didn't. When Noah called him out and was like, I told her that you're condescending to people, his response was, you don't think I know that I'm different from everyone else? That's my superpower. That's what makes me great, or something like that. I was like, oh, Bennett, no. I don't know. You're like really upset. Bennett.
He's a disgusting person.
Wow.
He's just a rude,
he's the Mark Zuckerberg of this.
I don't. If she ends up picking him and they get engaged, I hope it goes to hell. Like I hope it goes to hell for Dale and Claire. And I'm so pissed that Chip never got any play whatsoever.
That's a little inside joke. What was I gonna say? Oh, on a podcast I was listening to, they said that Bennett grew up in a small area of Georgia, which is like super wealthy, and he went to a pretty wealthy like elementary, middle school, high school, and apparently when you go to Harvard, there are no scholarships, so like you pay outright for Harvard. So he has money, because before we were saying like, oh no, he like comes from money, and he is like a business. He works in like money and stocks or something like that. So yeah,
such a jerk.
Very interesting. Yeah, Tayshia sends him home for now.
She sent them both home.
Here's the thing.
She didn't give Noah the rose right away either.
Oh, and I loved it. Okay, yeah. So when she sends Bennett home, I was kind of like, yeah, she sure sent them both home. I was not like, oh, really? Surprised. I was not surprised she sent Bennett home, because honestly, the whole time, she seems like she does not like him and is repulsed by him, which is surprising why at the end when he shows up and she's like, I have to think about it, she didn't just send him away, because I was like, really? Like, even when she was
happy that he was there.
I don't understand that, though, because the whole time
right there, she would look at that. I mean, it's like, a dark picture, which is dark from the show, but she is like, holy shit, I'm so happy that he's
here. Doesn't look happy. That looks like, oh,
to me, that looks like, no. I'm so happy to see you.
That's hold on, we're going to bring it up again. That's, her face says happy, her eyes say, what the fuck?
Okay,
her eyes are like,
on that one.
That's what you do when, like, never mind, that's gonna sound really rude, I'm not gonna do it. Anyway, so like she sends Bennett on her way, and she's like really upset about it, because she's like, this was not his time, this is not his whatever. And she comes in, she's talked to Noah before, like before she sent them home, she said to both of them like, Bennett, you make me feel heard. You've always made me feel heard, whatever, which I was like, okay.
And
then
she also said how she didn't like his attitude or something like the way he talks to people.
She did the like sandwich, like gave him a compliment, gave him a negative. I was like, okay, girl. And then she did the same to Noah. And at the end, she says to Noah, like, I don't think you're ready for marriage, which I was like, damn, like, okay. But then, like, you see Noah's, like, excited, like, happy, like, thinks that he won. He just has this little, like, smirk all the time.
Yeah, that I wanted to see her slap that freaking grin right on her face.
She kind of did. She walks in and she's like, no. She's like, you should not be celebrating right now.
Yeah, she's like, you didn't win anything.
Yeah, she's like, this isn't a victory for you. I was like, oh, girl. Like, that was good. Like, Tayshia's not here to play, and I appreciate it. Yeah, no, we didn't get the rose. He got the rose in the end, but he didn't get the rose then. Anything else on that portion of Bennett and Noah before we move?
No, just it was the walk to the walk of shame to the vehicle was much like Easy, where it was just just like stopping and walking and just
sure?
like,
yeah, go.
Yeah, he is really such an arrogant ass that he thought that he really did think that he was going all the way. He
said something like, once he got done talking to Tayshia before she talked to Noah, like, Tayshia's gonna realize that, like, I'm the right choice or something like that, like my emotional intelligence and I can raise a father the way I treated Noah or something like that. I was like, what? What are you saying? Yeah, we did they had the cocktail party. Whatever, boys trying to impress her, whatever. Rose ceremony, we said goodbye to Damar. Still don't know who you are. We said goodbye to Ed. Finally. Bye.
Yes, finally.
I don't know how he got there that long. We said goodbye to Spencer, who everyone's like, what the heck happened? Spencer came in guns a-blazing and then, like, nothing. And then he left. So, and then the one that everyone's like, how is he still here is Blake. Blake is still here.
Yeah, I don't get that
And Blake got a one-on-one that we didn't see, but we will see next week, which I'm saying he's probably going to go home on the one-on-one because that does not make sense. That's just my prediction. So I just want to say this, JoJo comes out and says that this is technically the week before hometowns, which raises a lot of questions because, like, how are we doing hometowns? We can't travel in the middle of the pandemic. I think
they bring the families there. I
think they are bringing the families in, which also raised another question. Did they make these families come in quarantine for 2 weeks? The 7? Or was she like, I know I'm going to pick these people, so, like, just get these people? Because that would be terrible.
That is a very good question.
They made someone's family come in quarantine and then she didn't end up picking them. Like, that would break my heart.
Galen says Zoom hometowns.
I don't.
I mean, if you need to, you could, but you're going to lose a lot of that, of what you get face to face. And
I think they're bringing in the families.
The vibe.
There's one channel I watch, and he, like, breaks down all the different previews, and in one of the pictures he was like, this looks like it could be someone's brother or something like that. So I think they're going to bring people in. I can't see them doing Zoom. They might, because they bring in Tayshia's. Oh, never mind. Let me stop.
Spoil it for me.
It's not a spoiler. Anyway, yeah, okay. So I just want to say, usually the week during hometown, on a normal season, we've been with these people longer. She's had time with these people longer. By this point, you have like 3 one-on-one dates and 1 group date, and only the group date, which is usually like 3 people, only the group date has a rose. You don't get a rose on the one-on-one date because of whatever. So it's like a stress-free. And usually at this point, people are going on their second one-on-one date with the lead. But I guess because the season has been so short and Tayshia really hasn't had time with most of these men, they kind of are giving them to new people, which is fine. But I was really surprised that they did the group date, or they did the roses on the one-on-one date, because that means that Ben automatically gets to go to hometowns. It was just something that I was like, okay, this is a little different. I don't understand why they're doing it this way, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, just something for the diehard fans, I guess. But okay, so we get Ben's one-on-one date. Sweet Ben.
Baby Ben.
Sweet baby Ben. Sorry, my dog just
baby Ben.
start freaking out. So Ben got the one-on-one date, but I do want to say when they said the name, Zach was like, "Man, I really wanted that one-on-one date," and I'm like, "Zach, you just got a date last week. Like, calm down. Have you not seen the show?" Like, wild. Okay, Ben's one-on-one date. They went around the resort on scooters. They're really getting creative with these episodes.
Right.
Trying to find different like puzzles and stuff. And then they smash a lot of piñatas, which was my favorite part, which would be a lot of fun. Excuse my dog. I'm so sorry. Yeah, what did you think of this date?
Well, as you know, I am not a big fan of Ben whatsoever. I think he's lame and he's weak. And but hey,
Wow.
he got some validation this week, so he's obviously in a good mood. I don't know. I just don't like this guy. And when they had their in-depth conversation and him opening up, it just, I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. Nothing hit me that pulled at my heartstrings or anything.
Really?
I didn't feel bad for him. No, not really. No.
Wow.
I don't know. Everybody has issues. I've had my own issues. I know people personally have had worse issues than he has, or than he expressed at least. And I don't fall into that whole, like, it seems like Tayshia is falling for every single.
She says she's falling for multiple people.
Well, no, not the people, but
everything he's saying.
Everything that when people open up, you see it, and she's like, oh my God, like I'm so into you and so into this. I don't feel that way when people open up about that kind of stuff and their past. I mean, it doesn't pull at my heartstrings, man. And if I were on that show, I'm not going to sit there with 6 chicks telling me their sob stories, and I'm not going to sit there and like,
that's what you
wow,
do.
like you are amazing, and I can't believe you know, dude. I understand that everybody has problems. I'll sympathize and empathize as I can, but I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to make you feel special. But see, that whole feeling special thing, it's a running theme here in The Bachelor, I've realized, because I mean, these people that are on there, the contestants, they're all just absolutely like, they're almost perfect people, perfect personalities, perfect looks. And I've said it before that I feel that we need to get some average people, some normal people on there. And yeah, I'm not going to take my hat off because I'm a normal guy and I'm going a little bit bald.
I was wondering how you're going to do this,
but I will tip my hat to myself and others like me, and who will stand up and be brave and say that we need regular people, producers of The Bachelor and Bachelorette and all these shows. We need average, regular people. They maybe don't have the best jobs. They aren't the prettiest, whatever the case may be. They're not perfect, pretty people that you can push on social media to make a hefty buck afterwards. But I guarantee you get some real and average people on that show, guys. You producers there at Bachelor Paradise, Bachelor Nation, all those shows. You get some real people over there, and you will get some real entertainment also. But I mean, you talk about inclusivity and opening up and being more accepting. Let's accept others who don't look good enough to be on there up to your standards now. So that's why I'm starting J Wade for Bachelor. Okay, guys, go out there to the Twitter and blast it at the Bachelor Twitter. Hashtag J Wade for Bachelor. Because fat guys deserve love too. Let's get it going on, guys.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you for the inspiring humming.
You're welcome.
I like that.
Wow. I don't know how to follow that up. All right. So Kaylin did say he has a lot to work through before all that happened. I'm talking about Ben. I I'm very surprised that you said that. Honestly, I have a lot of feelings about this. I don't know. I'm so sorry, but my dog is going crazy right now.
Fine.
So sorry. Anyway,
So sorry, Max.
I don't know that. Okay, I have a lot of feelings about this Ben thing. So Ben opened up again.
At least he was clothed this time.
Okay, so Tayshia was saying like she has a lot of fun with Ben, but she really needs to start like digging deep with him. And he was like, I don't really know how to start. What do you want to know? That was him, right? Yeah, it was like, what do you want to know? And she was like, anything. And he was like, okay, ask me questions. Which she was like, okay. I think I called it last week about how he's just not emotionally available. And how do I want to say this? The more Ben talks, the more I kind of understand, like, it makes sense to me why he's the way he is when he starts opening up a little bit. I mean, he started talking about how a couple of years ago, he like lost his job, he got a back injury, and then how he didn't have he was living in a city that was way more than he could afford. And we know from before that he said that he was a Army Ranger, I believe. Being married to someone currently in the military, I completely I understand, like, I know what Ben's going through. Like, I see men like this, where it's just like, he even said, like, in his family, he was told to be perfect, like, not show emotions. And that is the military. Like, you do not show emotions in the military at all. And I feel like that probably really like shut him off. And once he got injured, I'm speculating he got injured why being in the military. And that was probably hard for him. Probably just got discharged, and you have to deal with all that stuff. And then on top of it, you have to deal with not being upset or emotional. And he did bring up that he's really close with his sister, and his sister saved his life, and that he had 2 failed suicide attempts within the last 2 years, which honestly was a little bit of a red flag for me, just on the sense that, like, he said 2018 and 2019 didn't really recent. Like, he didn't have to say, like, it could have been the beginning. It doesn't. I feel like it kind of matters. But again, like, that would be something that if I was Tayshia, I would ask, like, how recent. She did say that he went to aggressive therapy, which is great, and that's wonderful. And he said he seems to be in a better place. But that is definitely something that I was kind of like, that's a big deal. Are you, like Kaylin said, like, I still think he has a lot he needs to work on. Like, I think there's a lot that he needs to deal with before because he keeps saying, like, I don't open up because I don't want to feel like I'm burdening people. And he said that was some of the reasons that caused him to go down that path. Right. And I feel like he seems like he has a lot he really needs to work on before he gets into such a serious, like, I feel like this process is not the right process for him. Like, it's such a fast-paced, elevated, especially this world that he's going to be getting thrown into, because I see him going pretty far. People love him right now. He's going to be on Paradise if he doesn't get picked. People are wanting him for Bachelor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I don't understand the love. I mean, I get the love, but for me, I'm concerned for this guy. Like, I'm really concerned. Like, that's really not that long ago. And he has a hard time now even opening up. Like, that's some pretty heavy stuff, I admit, to opening up to. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm concerned.
No, you're absolutely right to be concerned. And again, as far as the suicide attempts, the concern there, the only reason I would be concerned is because it was so recent. You know, that's the only concern that I would have with that. But the thing that still gets me that I don't like about the guy, and that is the biggest red flag to me, is it. I think it goes to show that, like you said, he's not ready. He's still got some emotional stuff to work through. The fact that one episode he said the word validation, that he didn't feel validated because he didn't a rose. And to me, that, which him giving the backstory of, you got to be perfect, you can't show emotion, that explains why he feels like he needs to feel that validation. It makes sense. Yeah. But given the context of the game here that we're playing, that is a huge red flag for me. Then the attempts being so recent would be the doubling down on the red flag for me. I wouldn't be able to let someone go any further at that point in time. And it's nothing personal against them. It's just, I'm not here looking to like make a new friend. I'm here trying to find a spouse and a partner and a mate to have children with. And that's just something that I think is a little too recent to have happened for me to try to work out with someone that I've just met 30 days ago.
Yeah. And her responses kind of rubbed me the wrong way too, because she was just like, I see you and I hear you, which is great. And like, that's what I don't think he was necessarily looking for like advice in that moment. But at the same time, like, I felt like she should have been a little bit more concerned, and maybe she was afterwards. Maybe they cut a lot of stuff down, but I just felt like she was very like, thank you for telling me your story. Okay, let's move on. You know what I mean? Like, I got what I wanted. I got him to tell me his second sad story. Okay, moving on. That's what it felt like to me, and not very like, oh my gosh, are you? Because if someone like opened up and told me that, I'd be like, are you okay? Like, yeah. Like that's a serious issue. Like, that's a huge thing. And I don't know, like, I just felt like it was very like, thank you for opening up. Let's go to our private concert now. Like, not like, what's changed? What's changed in your life that you don't feel this way anymore? How is your situation different? How did your sister help you? You didn't really even tell us that. Maybe they did, we didn't see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there was these different follow-up questions.
Well, I could also understand, not just her, but anyone in that situation, when someone tells you something that heavy, a lot of times maybe you don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
That's
true. Maybe she was like,
how you feel, you feel the sympathy, you know what you would like to say or how you're feeling in support of them, but you don't know how to express that. Yeah. And it can, that can then be awkward. True. Because then you feel like, well, do they think I don't care because I'm not responding? So then you're feeling even more self-conscious about it. And maybe that was it. Who knows? Because that does happen to everybody. It's happened to me. Shit.
I'm sure they'll have a more serious conversation. I can't see Tayshia being the type of woman. I mean, we've seen her be very upfront and honest. I can't see her being the type of person that doesn't take this kind of stuff into consideration. I'm sure off camera they'll have a more deeper, like, are you sure you're in the right headspace? I also just kind of wonder if he shared that story before getting on the show, like during casting, just because I know they do a lot of really intensive, like, I'm not saying he's not in the right headspace. I guess I am saying that. I'm just hoping that I wonder if ABC like knew that this happened and knew how soon it was, and they were still like, he's fine, when it doesn't really seem like he is 100% okay. I don't know.
But then again, we could be totally off.
Oh yeah, and
he for all we know, he has a doctor, and his doctor has told him, "You're doing great.
Yeah,
this process, this game show might help your process along." We don't know.
That's true.
But from what we're given, in a lot of it, and right here, Kaylin says it. A lot of it has to do with editing. I'm sure, as to how you perceive things. So
yeah.
It's just the way the info we get, it raises flags to me. But in reality, it may not be. There may be no flags there. Maybe he's doing exceptionally well. I don't know.
And I hope that he is. I mean, we hope that he is doing well.
But whether or not even if he is doing great, the point is Tayshia doesn't know. You know what I mean? So for her to be cautious is the right thing.
Yes. Then they had a little private concert performance. That was sweet. Okay. Anything else about all that, Ben? And no? All right. Well, we're going to take a quick promo break, listen to some other shows on this network, and we'll be right back to talk about the last part of the show.
Hey, Jay Wade here to tell you about SEN After Live, our SEN Live After Show, where we talk about, well, whatever Christian, Brett, and the rest of the crew talk about and the insanity that ensues. So join us each week here on the Merc with the Movie blog feed on your podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube now on the SEN After Live channel. Talk to you then.
Hey guys, Sean and Wade are back, and we're here to tell you about the next season of our Mandalorian show, Hey Mando. That's right, this year we have a name.
Hell yeah, dude, Boba Fett Season 2!
Wade, please.
Dude, come on. I can't wait to watch the continuing adventures of Boba Fett and Baby Yoda.
The Mandalorian, it's not Boba Fett. It's not Boba Fett. And it's not Baby Yoda, it's the child.
Yeah, Boba Fett and Baby Yoda.
You know what? Whatever. Join us every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern live on the Merc with the Movie blog YouTube channel, or catch the podcast version on the Merc with the Movie blog podcast feed as we cover every episode of The Mandalorian Season 2.
And we're back. Go check out those shows. You can find them where you find a show on the Merc with a Movie blog feed on YouTube and anywhere you find podcasts. Okay, let's get into it. The one thing I did forget to mention that I don't hear anyone else really talking about is the fact that Tayshia said that she loves Ben in her ITM, the interview. She says something when they're like dancing. She's like, Ben is sweet, blah, blah, blah. That's why I love him. Which I don't know if that's why I love him, like as a human, like when you're like, I love you, or she like loves him. But I feel like it's probably more of like as a human, I love him. He's a great guy. But I just thought that was important to talk about. Okay, let's talk about this group date. I've been seeing people trash this group date and I love it. So they did a lie detector test, which is not, they've done this before. They did this on Andy Dworfman's season of The Bachelorette, but it was like an actual polygraph, like with the wires and
This was all rigged.
Yeah, that one was real and it caused quite a lot of drama. And it was wonderful. And the lead, when they did it, the lead was not the lead. The guy that the lead ended up choosing was so mad and was like, do you not trust me? Is that why you didn't do it? And she's like, no, it was for fun. And he was like, I'm not hiding any secrets. They didn't last, by the way. It makes a lot of sense. But this one was like 3 lights. Someone said it looked like a traffic light. I was like, oh my God.
It looked like some sort of fucking backwoods carnival game.
It looked like you'd find it in like a Please Touch museum or like a fun like kids museum when they go up and hit the buttons and the light bulb lights up. I was like, what? Yeah, so JoJo is there asking them questions, which people are like, how does she get certified? Yeah, it was interesting. I'm sure people were behind the curtain like hitting the buttons what they think would be funny for each answer. Yeah, so they asked them a bunch of questions. Here we have it. We have the green, yellow, red. And then people were like, the little squiggly line, like it just looks like a YouTube video of a heart monitor or something. Yeah. I love it. It was dumb. I'll be honest. It was
all obviously rigged.
Yeah, it was like
obviously.
Okay, so we'll just talk about the night portion when she sits down and debunks everything that went off. Like, so Zach's big thing was like, have you ever
Hold
cheated
on. I'm sorry.
before?
First of all, this
you.
picture I brought in for me more than anyone else because
I was
I
gonna
love
get to
fashion.
it.
This
It
is
looks
the
like a
ugliest
wedding dress.
fucking dress, whatever the hell it is that I've ever seen in my life. That is absolutely terrible.
I thought
So
this dress
fucking ugly.
was too fancy for her to be wearing on a cocktail party. Like,
It's stupid to wear anywhere, even if you're in your house and no one's gonna see you wearing it and no one will ever know. It's still stupid.
it's like a romper with like a cape thing over it. And
yeah, I mean that obviously attaches and detaches.
Yeah, it looked like a wedding dress.
So ugly, terrible.
Yeah, I thought it was ugly too.
Sorry,
Anyway.
that was just so ugly.
So
I even titled that picture "Fugly Dress." Fugly, fucking ugly dress. Go ahead.
All right. So, I mean, the
hashtag J Wade for Bachelor because fat guys deserve love too.
The three main dramas that came out of this, we have Zach. When they asked Zach, have you ever cheated before? And he said, yes. I do not believe his story.
I don't
Yes
either.
and no. I do. Yes and no.
I mean, I believe that happened, but that's not.
I don't think that's what he was talking about.
It happened at least once again as an adult.
Because he said it, like, he didn't say it like, yeah. Like, that's something that you could have explained very quickly to be like, yeah, in 6th grade. You know what I mean? If that was the only time. The fact that he looked so nervous and was like, yeah.
And he had all day to come up with a good explanation.
And I'm sure he knew at that point that, like, Tayshia's past with, like, cheating. Because I'm sure the guys have talked about it. Like, I'm just sure that's common knowledge at this point. So the fact that he would have waited that long and led her on, like that, and if that's true, I find that annoying. Like, if he waited that long to be like, it's a joke. Like, she was pissed. Like, she looked pissed. She's like, I don't tolerate cheaters at all. And then he even starts out the story and he was like, my first girlfriend. And he kept going. And I'm like, this is going to be something stupid. Like he was in high school or something.
See, that's what I was like, dude, I cheated on a girlfriend in high school.
Like,
come on.
Then he was like, it was in 6th grade.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this. I like the chances are more in favor of the possibility that Tayshia has cheated on someone at some point in her life too. So I don't know why she's getting all crazy, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, I mean, her husband cheated on her, so
but I mean, I'm just saying, chances are she's cheated on someone at some point in her life too. So I mean, it's not like, and I don't believe that.
I think it's different for girls.
Thing. I'm sorry. I mean,
I don't believe it either.
It can be true to a great extent, perhaps, but I mean, I'm proof of that, dude. I mean, I cheated on 2 girlfriends in my life. I still fucking feel bad for them. One of them, I apologized to this chick. Like last time I talked to her, I apologized for it again, and that was like 20 fucking years after the fact.
Wow.
So I mean, that's not necessarily true, but yeah, when he said my first girlfriend, I'm like, so high school, so we're gonna really.
Yeah. He's like in 6th grade at the Bolorama. I was like, get out, get out of here. Yeah, I didn't find that charming. That really annoyed me. But then he was like, I hate it today. I was like, oh god, here we go. And he hated today because he had to admit in front of all the guys that he's falling in love with her, which I was like, oh god. And then she goes, I'm falling in love with you too. And I was like, no, no. This is the first guy that she's told, I'm pretty sure, that she's falling in love with, which I'm like, Tayshia, you don't do that. It's too early. Like, don't do that. We're going to have a JoJo situation. Like, I don't know. Kaylin disagrees with us and says, I thought his story was cute too, until I just don't think it's the only story. Like,
no,
I really
bullshit.
I don't think that was the story.
That's probably true, but there was at least one other instance as an adult where he's cheated on someone. So
yeah,
he just did that thing where, like, okay, like, hey, mom, dad, I'm going to go spend the night at Sarah's house. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I go to your house and me and you then skip out and go to a club. But I technically stayed at your house. So I didn't lie about it. It did happen. But, there's just some other stuff that happened too that I didn't disclose because I didn't have to.
Maybe we're just being cynical and skeptical and we just don't like Zach. So
I don't trust any of these people. They're on TV.
The next big thing was Brendan, them asking if he's ready to meet her family. I don't know. I didn't really care at this point. I don't really like Brendan either. I don't really like any of these guys.
I don't know. Yeah,
everyone loves Brendan. I think he's so boring. I'm like, he never talks. He seems sketchy. The only person I like is Bennett.
He's the worst of them all.
I like Ivan. I do like Ivan. He's the only one I think at this point.
I like Ivan too. I do. I like Ivan too.
And kind of Riley. So Riley always seems very rehearsed to me. I think that's why I don't like him. The way he talks. I mean, he's a lawyer, so that's probably why. Or attorney. I don't know if they're different or not. But Riley breaks down crying and goes to talk to her. And I thought his story was so real. I mean, it is real. It's real life, Sarah. That's a stupid thing to say. When he did his test, he failed the "what is your name" part, and everyone was like, "What the heck?" Which I'm thinking oh my God, he was adopted. He got abducted. I don't know. I'm going all over the place. He was kidnapped and had to change his name, and he doesn't know.
Ex-convict.
I'm like, what's happening? He starts telling a story about how it was a little confusing, but I guess his mom and his dad it seems very toxic. They're not, don't talk to each other. The dad won sole custody over him and his brother. But there was a lot of lies from the dad, I guess, on how he won and that his wife, the mom, was just terrible, which I guess wasn't necessarily true. But he was really just saying that his dad was his hero. He was his best friend. And then I guess there was some kind of falling out. So he decided he wanted to change his name because he was named after him. It was something that was very it was heartbreaking. I felt really bad. And he said, I wanted to do something different with my life, or I realized I wanted to start over and be a better man. So he completely changed his name. And I don't know. I actually really like Riley. I like Riley and Ivan. I really like Riley. I do feel like he's super put together, but that does come with his job. But I feel like he just keeps telling these stories. And when Tayshia was like, "You're a great man," she was really confirming and what is happening, being really nice and stuff. I thought it just touched my heart because he was like, "You don't have to say that. It's not true." And she's like, "No, it is. You really are a really strong person." I was tearing up.
Right. And see, when they let me clarify something from earlier. When they tell their little background sob stories and whatnot, I said, I can sympathize, I can empathize. Sometimes I can even relate, but I just have a hard time really. I'm just going to be blunt. I have a hard time really getting emotionally invested enough to give a shit when I don't know anything about these people whatsoever. Yeah. And that's what which for me, that's been my issue of this whole show is just none of these people know each other, but they're getting so invested in all, and it's just completely
it's the bubble. It's the Bachelor bubble.
I guess.
That's all their whole thought is, just this person. I agree. I like Ivan as a friend too. I don't think she really is into him. And I don't think she really is that into Riley. I think that's why Tayshia didn't give Riley the rope, because honestly, Riley should have gotten that rose for the group date, because he has just opened up, and that's kind of what she's been doing. But I think she knows that she's going to send him home, or maybe not knows she's going to send him home, but I think she knows that she doesn't.
He's another easy. So as long as he doesn't say "I'm falling for you," he'll be able to stick around a little longer.
Yes.
Real quick, I just thought about something. It just popped in my head. I don't know what the proper word would be. Maybe like the facial features, maybe not chiseled but defined or something.
Mm-hmm.
But when you were saying, okay, Bennett and John Paul Jones,
Okay.
their face, they don't look alike, but they've both like their faces, their features are defined, if that makes sense. Do you understand what I'm saying at all?
Look at the picture. That's not good.
No, it's not. But I mean, like they don't see, as far as like they don't have like a round face. They seem like,
oh yeah, they have a very defined jawline.
Yes, yes. Like, and I just thought about that. I was like, maybe, you know, because she's totally was into Bennett, maybe still is, and she had that thing with John Paul Jones.
And John Paul Jones also came from some money, so she likes those bougie men.
Maybe she's got two things she's looking for: the defined features and the face, and the money.
I mean, power to you, girl.
Maybe, Kaylin.
Let's talk about Bennett. I did not know that was going to happen, and I saw a lot of people thinking that it was going to be JPJ that showed up, which he's not going to show up. Like that's
there's no way. But imagine how fucking insane that would have been.
That would be insane because I don't think they ended on great terms.
I'm totally here for you.
I would love that. Anyway, yeah. So I was like, all of a sudden, it's Bennett in the dark, which is terrifying. He's just like literally like in the corner, and he's like, "Hi, Tayshia," like whispering, like talking softly to her.
Yeah.
She's like,
this was the moment when I hit you up. When he came in at this point here was when I hit you up and I was like, you watched American Psycho, right? Because now, like, if you did, now you understand exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, I understand. Like, I've just never seen
this it. This dude is, and you're going to watch that movie before next week's episode of this. But yeah, I couldn't believe that, dude. And that whole, from everything from that point to the end, him talking to her and everything. Oh, I think we both hit the button.
We did at the same time.
That's great. Them talking and stuff, like everything coming out of his mouth was an entire day's worth of rehearsed bullshit of him trying to backtrack on him fucking up.
Where has he been?
Probably in his little bungalow thing.
But it would have to be like 2 days, right?
No, I think it was that same day, wasn't it?
No, because the rose ceremony, because we had Ben's date before the group date. So
they did.
2 days. So he's just waiting in his room for 2 days? Like,
either way, though, I do think 100% her not giving out a rose at the end of that the rose ceremony, I think that was production. Maybe not telling her Bennett's here, but they knew he was going to go talk to her. And I think that was production telling her, why don't you sit on this for the night? Just, don't give out the rose yet. Just sit on it for the night and we can give it out tomorrow with everything else. Or the group date rose, rather, not the rose ceremony. Give the group date rose in the rose ceremony. And I think that was all set up by the production telling her to do that because they knew Bennett was about to go talk to her again. So,
yeah, but sorry, I got lost in all the thoughts.
I know. I get lost every time I look into my dreamy eyes too. I get it.
Yeah. Bennett's just kind of like, look, the Bennett dropped I realized that I love you, Tayshia. I was like, what?
That was the absolute most disgusting part of all of that.
Manipulation.
It is complete manipulation, and it's bullshit. Like, this guy is a real scumbag.
I really don't think she likes him, but I think she really is conflicted, especially I'm pretty sure she had an emotional day after talking to all these guys. And it seemed like Riley was the last one she talked to. So I'm sure that was pretty emotional and she's whatever. And now Bennett shows up and she's probably I don't think she's going to keep him. But I think she was like, I can't even deal with this right now. But I kind of wish she did give into it more and was like, no, go home. Just to give us the drama. But I honestly think she was just like, I don't want to deal with this in the moment. But I also think the manipulation did kind of work in the sense where she was like, I know Bennett. I think he even said I don't take that lightly. I don't take those words lightly. And she said, like, I know Bennett really means what he said. And I keep telling men I want them to show up for me, and they do, which I think is dangerous of her. She needs to stop doing that, because now
my first thought was, okay, baby, what's your address? I will show up on your doorstep right now.
It's kind of
does that automatically mean that you're going to get with me? I don't understand.
Like, stop saying, I would Amanda's going to show up for me.
It's that little girl fantasy bullshit that carries into adulthood. And she's getting lost in this game show as if it's fucking Cinderella. And it's not.
So. It's because every time a guy makes a grand gesture towards her, now she's like, oh, that means they're showing up for me. They love me or whatever. And
it means like, they're playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. Girl, you need to watch yourself. You need to be careful. Don't get invested. I think she's gonna invest it in like every guy, and I think that's kind of dangerous, because a lot of the leads will be like, I liked one or two, or really knew I just liked the one person, but I like played it up for other people. I really think she really likes like Ben and Zach and Brendan, and I don't know about the rest of them, but I think she really has emotional ties to all of them. Because it seems like it's getting hard for her to say goodbye to her top 7, 8, if you count Bennett.
Well, and it was also obvious to me that the only reason, I'm not giving him any fucking credit, dude. This guy's a jerk off. The only reason Bennett even went back is because he couldn't stand the fact that he lost, and that he couldn't stand the fact that he lost to Noah. That's why he's back there trying to get her, is because he can't stand that he lost. I can't stand this guy. So terrible.
You're right. And on that note,
you still love him, don't you?
I love to hate him, I guess, at this point. I love to hate him. Okay, that's going to be the end of our episode here. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we'll be back next week. There are 2 back-to-back episodes of The Bachelor, Monday and Tuesday, but we will be back here on Wednesday recapping both episodes. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Yeah, we'll be back for that. J Wade, in the meantime, where can people follow you?
Y'all can follow me on the Twitter at JWade1134. That's the letter J, WADE 1134. And my bio has all the other shows that I'm doing right now.
And you can follow me on Twitter at SCBock, SSEABOCK. Bye, losers. Kaylin did message me last night. It was like, I don't even know what time it was. She messaged me and said, are you watching? I was knocked out because I was sick, and I had taken NyQuil. So I was in my bed knocked out, and I never responded. No, I was not watching. I rewatched it today. I'm sorry for not responding to Kaylin. I was knocked out cold. And anyway, you can find the show on Twitter at Go Get That Rose on Twitter. And you can follow Merc with a Movie Blog at Movieblog Merc, also on Twitter, and just find the show wherever you find podcasts and on this YouTube channel. And we will see you next week to recap 2 episodes. Can't wait. Bye!